Hola, hola amigos, how are you? I'm so happy to share this topic with you. This is something that I was thinking about how to explain it in the easiest way and the most understandable because it's a different perspective. Normally coaches would tell you how to attract clients, and this topic will be actually the opposite, how to repel clients that are not a good fit for you. And this is very important for me because when I decided to leave corporate, I was talking to some of my ex-colleagues who became corporate persons after being freelancers. So they took the opposite path as I did. They were freelancing for many years, and then they got tired, and then they came to corporate. So many of them were designers and all that. And they told me, like, good luck, like, blessings to you when you start your own business because it's tough. It's tough to find good clients, it's tough. And they started to put, all these projections and labels and all that normally we humans do. And what I found out is that, they were saying yes to any client who would come to them. They were not filtering out. So the moment that I started to create the strategy for my business, I had one thing super clear in mind. I want to feel energized by all the clients that I work with. I don't want to feel drained. I want to really filter who I attract, who I work with, and who I don't. And for this, I started to test how to do this. And I found out that there were 4 main things I want to share with you that has worked really good for me. Sometimes I get goosebumps when I have the first coaching call with a coaching call with someone for the first time, when my clients start to tell me their stories. Even when I help them from a marketing perspective, all the clients that I've attracted online, mostly on YouTube and Instagram, they are extremely spiritual. Well, I don't know if there is such a word, extremely spiritual, but they are deeply spiritual. And for me, it's amazing, and it's not a coincidence. It's something that I attracted. And this is not only like woo-woo, wish and it's gonna come. No, there is a strategy behind. And there are 2 parts, like the law of attraction and this woo-woo thing, but also there is a strategy. So I think there are both parts. So I mention all this to give you some context about how it is possible. It's completely possible. Why is it important to repel the bad clients? Because then it's gonna remove a burden for you. Remove a burden of the clients who won't get a high contribution from your work, the clients that will be draining you. A clear example is that almost in all my videos, I add something like conscious entrepreneurs or conscious business or human marketing or some hints here and there, or self-aware, how to be more confident and all that. So that means that I give some keywords to find people who are on a conscious journey, on a spiritual journey already. I don't use keywords such as become millionaire fast or fast success or fast blah blah blah, because actually I want to repel those clients. So it's your decision on who you want to repel. The first tip to repel them is to share your perspective online, to go beyond all this how-to or educational content. Educational content is really good. It's one pillar of your overall strategy. I usually use like 1/3 of the content I share is educational. But then the other part, it's also storytelling and sharing your perspective on something. And this is going beyond everything that has been created. Most of the things are already said online, probably like this video too, like someone else said it already, but no one has my perspective. And this is really helpful, because then the persons who want to work with you don't want to work with you only because of you are solving something or you are helping something. They want to work with you because they want your perspective. They really like how you see life. They want to see how you work and how you help them. What are the lenses that you see life with? The lenses, yeah. Sometimes I share some ideas like, you don't have to be on TikTok, or you don't have to do that, or that's my perspective and that's my own experience. And some people might disagree. Some people would say like, no, you're so stupid because you are missing out on a huge platform such as TikTok. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do dances. I don't care actually about having thousands or millions of views. I only want a few, and I only want a few good clients. That's my perspective. That's what I stand up for. And this requires a lot of courage, because there will be many people who say like the opposite, but actually not so many, but some people might disagree. But that's really good, because the ones who agree, you are really like-minded, and that's a really great filter. So find what are the values that you stand up for, and be really vocal about communicating them. Like, even if it's not 100% related to this. For example, I always communicate also on my social media that I love yoga, that I like meditation and all that, and self-care, that I want to work less hours but really take care of myself. So for example, someone who has a mindset of grind and hustle and work 20 hours a day probably don't want to work with me, because for that person, maybe I am lazy or I'm a hippie, right? And it's really good, because then I don't even attract them, so I attract someone who is also open, easygoing, etc., right? Also, before jumping into the next topic, sometimes I also curse. I also swear in some of my posts on Instagram, and this is also really good because I do it on real life too. And this is really good because the person who would feel offended if I say like fuck, or if I say like bang or something like that, the ones who feel offended unfollow me and leave. That's really good, because I also with my clients, we swear, and then we, like, in a fun way, right? It's part of our humor, and that makes really light to work with them. So like this kind of humor and interaction with my clients, I don't want people who would feel offended because I say fuck, right? So that's totally up to you, and you can even write down like which parts of you, which values you stand up for, who do you want to work with, who you don't. You can even imagine, like in business it's called the avatar and the non-avatar. You can write down who's your non-avatar, okay? So probably you want to write it down. Next tip is to show up online, to show up yourself as you are, without a lot of filters, without a lot of like layers. So show yourself the most authentic as you are. And this is a big reason why I started YouTube, because before I was using LinkedIn and Instagram, but I felt that I wanted more. I wanted to communicate more. I wanted my potential clients to listen how I speak. I don't speak English on a native level. And my belief or my fear was that they would see a post on Instagram or on LinkedIn, they would like my point of view, but then they book a coaching call with me, and then when they show up, or when we connect, I was really afraid that they would be disappointed because of my English. Maybe it's a limiting belief, but that's why I started creating videos on YouTube, because what you see, what I speak, how I look, it's exactly how I will show up on a coaching call with you. Nothing else, nothing more, etc., right? So, and for me it took a big burden from being disappointing to someone. So this also filters out the people who might be annoyed that I don't speak English to that level, or that might be annoyed again that I curse, that I swear, whatever. That's amazing. So, or maybe also some people, I have experiences, might be annoyed that I'm a business person or marketing person without being formal. So I always show up on my calls on sports clothes. Yeah, I've get sometimes the feedback that, oh, I thought that you were a yoga teacher or something like that because of the way I wear, the clothes I wear. And that's how I show up also on the coaching calls. And I also show up like this on videos, because I want you to see like how I look, how I dress, how this is my authentic self. And that's really cool, because some people might not trust me because how I look, right? Some people think like, oh, you're young, or oh, you're not wearing a suit, or something like that. And that's also completely fine if they want to go with someone who is maybe older, or who is maybe wearing like really formal clothes. They are also free to go, okay? Then the third tip is to get extremely clear about who you can help and who you can't help. And the part that I usually use this one is on my website, on the landing page. Normally I write down like, this program or this course or this session is ideal for, and then I list there, and early stage entrepreneurs who want to build an online brand, to service providers and blah blah blah, and who is not ideal for. I like to write it down because that's also an act of honesty from my side, that how I can help and how I can't. And then the last one, this is also super important and super strategical. I cherry pick the keywords that I use on my titles and in general on my copywriting. When I do my content strategy, I usually do keyword research, and the keyword research means using a platform. I use SEMrush, or you can use any platform to look for the exact words that your potential clients are using on Google, are typing on Google or typing on YouTube, to find something that you offer. So when you do this match, it's very nice because then you attract the clients who are using those keywords. When I use this keyword, I usually pick the keywords that are the type of clients that I want to attract, but that also are with a decent amount of volume. And normally you will see that the keywords that have the highest value will always be related to becoming a millionaire or finding love in 1 week, or this kind of promises. And I personally don't use those because I want to attract people who are really committed to their work, to their inner work, and to building a foundation in a business or marketing that will be longer lasting and sustainable over the time. And I don't want to attract people who want things fast. I want it tomorrow, Ali. I want next week, Ali. I want to become millionaire. Like, I don't want these people. I feel pressured by those people, and I know that there are other coaches who might support them in a better way than me. I work differently. So these keywords normally I use like conscious entrepreneurship, conscious business owners, human marketing, gentle marketing. And with those keywords, my clients have found me. Also, I used recently one keyword that it's introverts, how to create a personal brand as an introvert. And I also got a client from that keyword, like introvert, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So they really work, but you gotta find yours. And the first step is to get clarity on who you want to attract and who you want to repel. If you need help with this, you can also book me. I'm really happy to work with you. I'm sure we're a good fit because I use also these keywords on this video. So thank you for watching and see you next week.